Stepped into my house, expecting a normal evening. Instead, every wall was covered with photos of my affair. My husband was nowhere to be found. The kids were gone. My hands shook as I spotted a package on the table. Inside? Divorce papers, a one-way plane ticket, and a chilling note. I took everything. You deserve nothing. Let me tell you something. You think it won't happen to you. You think you'll never be the one to blow up your own life. But all it takes is one weak moment. One lie. And suddenly, the ground's gone from under you. It was a regular Thursday. I'd worked a half day at the office. Picked up a salad on the way home. No traffic. No sign that everything I had was already gone. I used the side door, like always. My husband, Ryan, was weird about that. Said the front door made too much noise when he was working. So, out of habit, I came in through the side. First thing I noticed, the silence. It hit me wrong. No cartoons playing. No dog barking. The lights were off, but that wasn't weird. What was weird was how cold the house felt. Not in temperature. Just off. I dropped my keys into the dish. They clinked like gunshots. I called out. No answer. Ryan? I tried louder. Nothing. My stomach dropped. I stepped into the hallway and froze. Every wall was covered. Pictures. Dozens of them at first. Then I saw more. Hundreds. Printed in color. Pinned with thumbtacks. Taped to the drywall. Some blown up, some small. All of them of me. And not just me. Me and Logan. He was the mistake. The escape. The bad decision I never meant to turn into more. The photos were all from different nights. Different places. Some I didn't even know had been taken. One of them was us kissing outside a hotel in Phoenix. Another was me sitting on his lap at that party in Chicago. Some were screenshots from texts. One was from inside the bedroom of that Airbnb in San Diego. My knees went weak. I grabbed the edge of the hallway table to steady myself. The photos were everywhere. Down the hall. In the living room. The kitchen. Even the door to the bathroom had one taped to it. I yanked it off. My face was red in the photo. I looked happy. I wasn't happy now. I ran to the kids' rooms. Stripped. Beds made, but no sheets. Closets empty. No shoes. No toys. Just empty drawers and bare floors. Even the pictures were gone from the walls. My chest started to close up. I couldn't breathe. I called out again. Ryan, please. Nothing. I went back downstairs. That's when I saw the package on the kitchen table. A plain white box. No markings. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely open it. Inside, a manila envelope. I pulled it out. Divorce papers. Signed by him. There was a sticky note on top. No court. No fight. Just sign. Beneath that, a plane ticket. One way. To Spokane, Washington. From a small airport near my parents' place. My maiden name was on it. And then the note. Handwritten. I knew that handwriting better than I knew my own. I took everything. You deserve nothing. I stared at it for a long time. I think I stood there for over an hour. Not crying. Not screaming. Just frozen. Everything was gone. The man who once made me feel like the world wasn't such a scary place? He was gone. And he took my kids with him. And the worst part? I knew I deserved it. I didn't sign the papers. Not right away. I couldn't. For days, I stayed in that empty house like a ghost. I didn't shower. I didn't eat. I just walked through the rooms, looking at the bare walls, the clean carpets, the silence that used to be filled with laughter and crying and life. I'd touch the furniture like it might talk back. The worst part was the smell was still there. His cologne. My kids' shampoo. Like they'd only just left, even though they were gone for good. I tried calling him. Of course, I did. His number rang twice, then straight to voicemail. I called my parents. My mom picked up, and the second I said his name, she said, "He already called. Don't you dare come here." That's when I knew it was deeper than I thought. He wasn't just angry. He wanted me wiped out. I called his brother, his best friend, even his coworker, Mike, who I never really liked. Nobody answered. He'd planned it. All of it. But I still didn't know how he found out. Until one night, I checked my laptop. The screen lit up and I opened Chrome. My heart dropped when I saw it, a folder on the desktop. Labeled, Proof. Inside? Everything. Screenshots. Emails. Audio files. Even a video of me at the hotel in Phoenix. He'd gotten everything. I don't know how. Maybe he hired someone. Maybe he figured it out and just watched me until he had enough. There was one audio file labeled, Call with Logan. I clicked it. It was a phone call. Me, laughing. Logan's voice on the other end. He was calling me babe. I was telling him I'd meet him again, even though I'd told Ryan I was working late. And at the end of the recording, there was silence. Then Ryan's voice. Low. Calm. Got everything I need now. That's when I realized something else. He'd been planning this for months. He wasn't gone. He was hiding. I didn't know where he took the kids. I didn't even know if he was still in the state. But now I knew something for sure. He wanted me to fall apart. He wanted to destroy me. And I let him get halfway there. But not all the way. The first thing I did was get a lawyer. Not one of those flashy ones. Just a quiet guy named Harold with a cluttered office in Round Rock. He didn't smile much, but he listened. I told him everything. He looked at me, hands folded, and said, "You're not gonna win sympathy. But if you want to fight for custody, we fight." That was all I needed. I got a new phone. New number. Changed all my passwords. I stopped calling my parents. They weren't on my side anymore. Then I started digging. Ryan's credit cards were still linked to a joint account. Stupid mistake. I saw a charge in a town I didn't recognize, Pineville, Missouri. Tiny place. Middle of nowhere. Then I saw a payment to a private school. 2 kids. Enrolled under fake last names. That's where he took them. I bought a plane ticket. Not the one he left me. And I went after them. Pineville, Missouri. Never heard of it before. It was the kind of town where people left their front doors unlocked and everybody knew everybody's business. I stood at the second I stepped off the Greyhound bus. Big sunglasses, shaking hands, clutching a rental car key like it was a weapon. The motel was old, smelled like wet carpet, but it was cheap. I didn't sleep much the first night. I just lay there, thinking about how far things had fallen. Wondering if my kids were down the street. If they missed me. If they hated me yet. The next morning, I drove to the address listed on the private school invoice I found in Ryan's transaction history. It was real. A small building looked more like a church than a school. Kids playing outside. I parked across the street and waited. Then I saw them. My babies. Ellie in her pink hoodie. Lucas dragging his lunchbox behind him like always. My heart cracked wide open just watching them. And then I saw Ryan. He was different. Beard grown out. Looked thinner. But it was him. He was holding Ellie's hand and talking to another mom like he'd been there forever. Like he belonged here. Like I didn't exist. I wanted to run across the street, scream his name, take my kids in my arms. But I knew better. I'd lose them for good if I acted crazy. So I waited. For 3 days, I followed him. He lived in a rented house near the woods. New name on the mailbox, the Allens. His middle name was Allen. Smart, but not smart enough. I took pictures. Logged their routine. I was building a case. Harold told me I needed to prove he was hiding them. That he'd taken them without legal agreement. It was kidnapping in slow motion. But on the 4th day, something happened I didn't expect. I saw him with another woman. She pulled into the driveway while the kids were at school. They hugged. Kissed. She had groceries. He took them from her, smiling like nothing had ever gone wrong in his life. That wrecked me worse than the photos he'd left on my walls. He had moved on. He didn't just leave. He replaced me. Later that night, I followed her after she left the house. She drove 20 minutes out of town, pulled into a long driveway, and disappeared into a farmhouse with lights on and music playing inside. I sat in the dark, engine off, and cried until my stomach hurt. The next morning, I walked into the school. Said I was a new mom looking to enroll. They gave me a tour. That's how I found out what name he'd registered under. Rebecca Allen. He told them I was dead. They didn't say it outright. But the principal said, "We're glad to see a mother figure again. The kids need that after everything." I asked what he told them. The woman looked uncomfortable. He said there was a fire. I almost passed out. He faked my death. He told our kids their mother died in a fire. The room was spinning. I made it to my car before the tears hit. Then I just sat there, shaking, staring at the front of that school, wondering how a man could erase someone like that. Not just out of his life, out of existence. I wasn't just fighting for custody anymore. I was fighting for my name, for my kids to know I was alive. I called Harold. "We're going in hard," I said. "I want an emergency court order." But Harold hesitated. "There's something you need to know," he said. "Your husband, he already filed for full custody in Missouri, under abandonment." He told them I disappeared, I whispered. "Yeah," he said. "And it gets worse. He has witnesses." My stomach turned. "Who?" "Your parents. And Logan." When Harold told me my parents and Logan were backing Ryan's story, something inside me snapped. My parents. The same ones who raised me, who watched me grow up, who held my hand through every scraped knee and breakup. Now they were calling me unstable in court filings, saying I ran off with another man and abandoned her children. And Logan. That coward. He didn't even try to lie for me. He told the court I had talked about leaving my husband and starting over. He made it sound like I'd planned the whole thing. Like I didn't care about Ellie and Lucas at all. I wasn't perfect. I made mistakes. Big ones. But I wasn't going to let them bury me alive. We filed for an emergency hearing. I stood in front of a Missouri judge in a plain gray suit, hair pulled back, voice shaking. Ryan sat across from me, clean-cut, calm, his new girlfriend holding his hand like she was already wearing my ring. His lawyer tore into me. They showed photos, read my texts, played audio clips of my calls with Logan. Every dirty detail, right there in court. I stood and took it all. But when it was my turn, I didn't hide from any of it. I cheated. I told the judge. I betrayed my husband. I hurt my family, but I never abandoned my kids. I never said goodbye. He took them. He hid them. He lied to them. He told them I was dead. Ryan shifted in his seat. "I have proof," I said. "Credit card charges. Photos. Witnesses from the motel. And this," I handed the judge a voice recording. One Ryan had left by mistake on the laptop, buried in the folder called Proof. A recorded call between him and his brother. Ryan's voice. "Once the photos are up, I'm gone. I want her to feel it. I want her to rot in that house alone." The judge listened. Twice. The courtroom went dead quiet. Ryan's lawyer looked like she swallowed her tongue. His girlfriend stood up and walked out of the courtroom without a word. It wasn't over. But I knew the tide had turned. The court ordered immediate visitation. Supervised, at first. I walked into a small room with 2 chairs and a camera in the corner. Ellie looked confused. Lucas looked scared. "Hi," I said. "I'm your mom." Ellie tilted her head. "But Daddy said you died." My voice cracked. "No, sweetie. I didn't die. I never left you." They didn't run into my arms. They didn't cry. It was slow. Confusing. But they looked at me. They listened. That was enough for day 1. It took months. Court battles. Therapy sessions. More lies uncovered. Ryan fought hard. But the judge wasn't buying his act anymore. They granted me joint custody. He lost full control. Lost the clean slate he tried to build with a fake name and a new woman. The woman? She left him the day after the voice recording was played, took her things, and went back to her own life. Probably grateful she found out who he really was before it was too late. Logan tried to crawl back once he saw me fighting back in court. Sent me a message. I miss you. I believe you. I blocked his number. Forever. My parents? We haven't spoken since the hearing. My mom sent a letter once. No apology. Just confusion. We didn't know what to believe. I burned it. Ryan appealed, but the court didn't budge. He was allowed to see the kids. But now they were old enough to speak for themselves. Lucas told the judge, I want to live with Mom. Ellie said, I want both my parents. But I want Dad to stop lying. That was the last nail. A year later, I moved back to Austin with them. Started small. Teaching job. Little apartment with bunk beds and a cheap couch. But it was ours. Every inch of it. The pictures on the wall? Real ones. Of us. Together. Sometimes I look back and wonder how it all happened. How I let myself fall that far. But I also know this. He took everything. But I came back and took myself back. And now? He's the one with nothing.